Welcome back to Subnautica, the Red Plague. Today, we're going to be going and investigating this Research Team 7 who needs supplies. Now, I'm going to guess, just because of what I know about Subnautica, that these people are not alive and that there's nothing there for me. But this is the Cragfield, and I am really interested to see what they're adding in the Cragfield because, like I've said before, nobody does anything with the Cragfield, so I'm really excited to see what's over there. I have a prawn suit now. I went off camera and farmed a little bit, so I made a prawn suit. I got the grapple and drill arms created. My keyboard is not wanting to move forward. W key not wanting to work. That's fantastic. And I got my power figured out. Oh my god. You want to know what the issue was? The issue was that the foundation I had here was somehow being considered a separate base from this one, even though they were right next to each other. And I think that's because I made the foundation, like, okay. I think that's because I made the foundation when my base was a little bit more up and wasn't right next to the thermal vent. And then I started building stuff off of this. I really thought that foundation was going to count as part of this multi-purpose room, though, when I moved it over here. Like, this would have been the same base. Apparently not. So I got rid of the foundation. I have power. I do have power transmitter fragments, though. Those are in the mushroom forest, which is a biome I completely forgot existed for some reason. I don't know why, but we're good now. So, one thing to note in my time of playing is there's those little fish that latch onto your sea moth and other vehicles and stuff. They push you around, so in the prawn suit that's a bit annoying, but it's livable. We can work with that. But they're kind of like the lava larvas that drain power, except they push you around, which is well, not fantastic, but whatever, we'll make do with it. I want to take the prawn suit over here, though, because I'm going to need a lot of resources. I eventually will make the Cyclops, because I'm pretty sure this game wants me to go out into the void, unless they added new biomes that aren't technically classified as the void. But I doubt that. So I want to go over here because the Cragfield does have a good amount of resources. So this is going to be nice to mine. Warper bone shark, okay. Hi, skeleton diver guy. Apparently you're considered an entity that can bleed. Chased him away. Alright, well, one of the mods I wish I had is the grapple arm picking up materials. You're not gonna get me, dude, so just don't. Hey, we've got a base. Hello. And it seems like something I can actually enter. Go away. It's like breathing at me, though. I don't like that. Can I scan you? No. Uh-huh. Okay, I can swim in here. Neat. Fragmented device. Is that red tablet? Infection tablet, yes.
Blueprint acquired.
Okay, so I can swim in here, which is a, like, incomplete base. But I can't go in the main base. Get out of here. Get. We'll just eliminate the cursed creatures. That's fine. Bad, not boomerang. Alright, well, can I get anything else? Because it looked like there was stuff in this base, but, I'm not allowed in. Seemingly. Is there another thing I can scan? I need a plague analyzer thing. Neutralizer fragment. I need you. Neutralized flesh. Give.
New blueprint acquired.
Yes. Okay, so I can't go down, or I can't go in there, but and I can't go down either. Well. I'm not allowed in the base, even though I want to be. Well, I suppose it's time to get away from this base just because of all the noise. And we need to find ourselves a large deposit of, hopefully, silver. There should be silver here. There might even be copper out here, though I know there's copper in the mushroom forest. I typically go there for copper ore. If you go to the bottom of the underwater islands, there's, I believe, uranium and gold, sometimes silver. I don't think there's copper down there. But let's get this silver. Absolutely. Even though in the base game there's nothing in the crag field, it's hi, fake reaper. Where are you at? You under the map. Or is that just a random reaper sound because... Anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, even though there's nothing in the crag field, I know, perfect timing for that one. It always does kind of creep me out because of just the way the rocky protrusions stick out and everything, and it gets dark here. Same thing with the sparse reef. Like, there's nothing in the sparse reef. That's kind of the point. But, like, the fact that there's nothing and it's pitch black is just really unsettling. Whoa, God, what was that? And there's the plague base. Okay, well, I mean, I guess there's nothing out here, so I should go and grab, random extra material. There's lots and lots of resources out here. I think that was meant to be a giant image of a reaper. That's what it looked like for a second. It's really hard to tell because they do that stuff, and yeah, that's a jump scare and so are the sounds, but like, it's a jump scare. Once you get past it, you're like, okay, yeah, you're not that big of a deal. It is, I can see how that stuff would be pretty terrifying though if you're on edge because you're like in the crash zone or dunes and then a reaper spawns on you. Alright, well, we have plague neutralizer now as a thing that I can try to make. So I do want to do that. Yep, and when you hear the prawn suit move, that means we got one of those things attached, and they move. Thankfully, for the prawn suit at least, it doesn't really get to go many places, but... God, you're annoying. Stop. You know what? Stay right there. You stay right there. Enjoy your new life. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they infinitely respawn, so that's something to worry about now. Because, like, how do I... how do I deal with that? You know, I gotta have a second moon pool, I guess. Which is kind of an expense, but it's worth it to not have to worry about my vehicles getting away. But then what's that mean about the Cyclops? Because as far as I know, those things are going to be everywhere. I just got rid of one. Don't you dare get off my darn thing. This is what I'm talking about. Ever since I made the prawn suit, I've been paranoid now about the, like, those things latching on. That's why I park my prawn suit, like, right here. Because at least then, if it attaches, like, it's not, it can't go too far. I start to hear it. But God, that is really, really obnoxious. And definitely something I'm going to try to work out and fix. I know I need fluid intake. I just was a little full of dealing with all the BS. No.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay, so I'm starting to think priority number one here is going to be to build a second moon pool, which I'm not going to be able to do here. So I'll have to build it off of maybe this one. I don't exactly like having, you know, maybe I move my base stuff some more. I don't know. Get off! I said no. Don't touch my prawn suit. Second moon pool. Heck yeah. Hey. 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 Forward. Get off. Get off. Get off. Forward. Come on. Come on, I'm right here. Second moon pool, thank you. I had two of them on the front of this thing. God, that's really annoying. Get off. All right, we are finally done farming for materials. I had to make some updates to the base in order to fit everything. I'll show you all of it. First of all, I guess there's a door and a partition here. You just heard the door open. Got a desk and a chair. Got my grow bed here, bed and poster. This partition then opens up into this big room. I'm gonna turn this into a cafeteria. I've got my lockers here, radio fabricator and battery charger. Keep calm kitty poster right here next to the prawn suit that's docked. It has a name now of Stay Puffed because I had to build a second moon pool. And I named my sea moth Marshmallow and it didn't have enough space to put the full name. And then in this room was, well, everything, but now there's just an aquarium with these peepers and bladderfish. Now I really want to build alien containment. And so what I've been doing is farming and expanding my base and building a couple things. That's been seriously like the last couple hours of gameplay basically has just been farming materials and getting things. Because, the reason why I had to do all of that and expand things is because I really wanted to make this room my alien containment room anyway, since it's got the aquarium. But really, when I made the prawn suit, there's a bunch of these parasite things, which I'm not sure I'm going to show in the video. The only way to prevent them from attaching and pushing around your vehicles is by docking them in a moon pool. So since I have two vehicles, I have two moon pools, which means the prospect of having a Cyclops is, I don't know, kind of sketchy, honestly, because I'm not sure I want to worry about that with a Cyclops. If they even attach that, who knows? I think I can finally make this modification station. I went out and did all this farming, and I think I have everything I need for it. The only thing that's missing is a computer chip, but if I recall, I believe that I have everything for a computer chip now. Because I went and got a bunch of resources, so I guess I could show that. Let me unpin this real quick, and then I'll show you that. Where is all this? There we go. Okay, so locker, titanium. I'm gonna have 2 separate lockers, and I'm just gonna keep grabbing titanium every time I can and I see it. Quartz for the alien containment, and lead. Copper, silver, and gold. In fact, now that I built that computer chip, I have some room for copper, which I'm gonna do. Lithium and magnetite. I was gonna say magnesium. That's not right. And then I've got my extra whatever. In fact, I believe this is my gear one. I'm gonna put some of this. I'm gonna put that other gear charger thingy in here. So, just to recap, in case the footage is a little weird, we went over to Research Team 7, which I should remark. They're over here in the Crag Field. Now, the Crag Field is normally not something that gets anything added to it. They did add a small base there, which is kind of cool. But I don't think LifePod 7 exists anymore because Research Team 7, I think they put the base right where that LifePod would be, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, but so it's basically the same area as LifePod 7. But when I was out there, I got all those resources and stuff for that, but they did give me finally, that base revealed that I can now make the plague neutralizer. And this says uses plague catalyst to create neutralized plague samples, requires a steady supply of nutrients. I don't know how to get a steady supply of nutrients, but I am ready for that. I'm also gonna make the thermal blade because I've had to manually chop off those things pushing around my vehicle, so it's nice to have extra damage to make that a little faster. And I should probably make the ultra high capacity tank. So I guess we'll do that real quick. It's time for an upgrade, I'd say. That's the wrong thing. This one here. Perfect. All right, and then ultra glide fins. I don't have the silicone rubber for, but as part of my base rework, I have moved my grow beds up to the top of my big room. Don't touch me, warper. The only annoying thing about this base is that this warper likes to live right here. So he makes a lot of noise, and he's a little annoying, but that's okay. We can live with that. So I think we'll take the fins off, and we're gonna put on, come on, there we go. Ultra glide fins, there we go. We need some nice upgrades to our character from time to time, right? So there we go. Now we're gonna have a lot of air and we can do a lot of swimming, but I really want to get the alien containment up. I think that's gonna be necessary. So that's what we're gonna go do. Now, the place I usually go to get it is the Degassi base. You know, actually here, this is all disinfected water, is it not? In my gear one, which is over here. Yes. Okay, so I want to make this plague neutralizer real quick. What do you look like? Access plague neutralizer. Insert biodegradable items. Biodegradable items. Does that work with this stuff? Ooh, plague catalysts. Okay, so that's what these are. Do I need to have 6? Interesting. I have no clue how that thing works, but I did want to make that, so we'll get that figured out soon. Now, also, one of the things we need to make is this tadpole, whatever the heck, tadpole drones. Where are those? We should be able to make all that. Mobile vehicle bay needs that, but we're going to need all the copper wire, and it doesn't appear that I have the titanium? That can't be right. No, stop. Okay, whatever, that's fine. Here, titanium. Okay, it is now daytime, finally. Let's see what these tadpole things look like. Tadpole drone formation. Ooh. These have to, like, fly away, right? There's no way that they go in the ground and that I deal with them. Direct the drones to the wreckage sites for salvaging.
Building any more drones may result in spontaneous aerial collisions. Please direct these drones to any nearby wreckage for salvaging for a very important purpose.
Get off my sea moth! These guys, that's what I'm talking about. They're obnoxious. They're everywhere. They never stop showing up either. That's why I had to have a separate, like, whole moon pool. Alright, direct drones to wreckage sites for salvaging. No permanent damage will be done. Well, the closest wreckage site that I can think of is over here. I don't know how big it's supposed to be. It says scrap collection 0%. So multiple wreckage sites, or what are we doing? This is pretty cool. That's a lot of work to put into something like this. This is really cool. And the implications of this in the lore is kind of crazy too. Like, so if, like, let's say the Degassi crew had this type of drone or whatever, they did repurpose their entire wreckage. Like, that's in the lore. They said there's no more scrap metal from the Degassi. And I think the Degassi was a much smaller ship, but like, this is really cool. So maybe they did have something like this to help them repurpose entire wreckages. I like watching them work, although I think if I'm not looking at it, maybe they don't do their thing. I'm not sure. They got little eyes. I love that. This is really cool, though it doesn't exactly make sense for them to have little jet burners. Oh, are we done now? All right, well, there should be some wreckage. Oh, hello. Are we not done? Oh, the life pod. Oh, neat. The life pod. Let's go ahead and scan this myself. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Cool, so maybe it depends on the size of the wreckage, because that life pod did barely anything. This should be enough for you guys, no question. They go away now?
Uploaded to PDA.
They do.
Great work. Those drones have done all the salvaging we need to continue with the project. Now for Project Step 2. All you need to do is make your way up onto the floating island in the sky, by whatever means necessary. For Step 3, just make sure nothing goes wrong.
Alright, so now all we need to do is make it up to the floating thing in the sky. That's it, huh? By whatever means necessary. Am I supposed to build up to there? Well, now, isn't that kind of interesting? By whatever means necessary. So how the heck do you get up there? There is a red tablet. That's another thing. I didn't review that. I found a red tablet at Research Team 7, or at least the broken one that I can go maybe construct. I haven't really looked that far into it, so let's get back down to the base. And then we'll see what it takes to make that red tablet. I bet that is what gets us up there, since it's really close to the bottom of that. I smacked in my own base. I got the thing. Infection tablet, plague sample, and diamond. Made in... just as equipment. Banned from standard fabricators. Banned from standard fabricators. Well then, do I have a different fabricator? I mean, I have some with mods like vehicle framework. And I have the all-in-one fabricator because of mods. But I don't have a thing for this. Okay, well, since I don't have that, and my next step is to get in the sky 800 meters-ish. Man, what does that mean? Biodegradable items. I want to try this just a little bit longer. I do want to get my alien containment. But like, technically all of this is biodegradable. So like, do these work? Is that how I can make plague neutralizer? Or I would assume it would be the actual blood samples, but like, neutralized flesh ingot, and it uses one of these. Okay.
Neutralized lignotin poses minimal risks to the human body. However, it should still be treated as a threat to humanity, because it is. Send this to all Terra as soon as possible.
Interesting. Interesting. That's some crazy music. Send to Alterra. Well, so you got the one lady who's like, don't listen to him. take only my orders. So obviously there's kind of like two paths. I see two paths. Interesting. The only thing I'm missing is a reinforced dive suit, which I should be able to get pretty soon. And depth upgrades and all that other stuff I need to, but I mean, in terms of what I'm missing for my character, I'm not doing anything with these yet because I also have to make the plague grappler, which needs 4 of those, which I think I have just enough, honestly. I might have just enough. I kind of got to see what that is. I want to repair the Aurora too. There's so much I want to do. Let's not get sidetracked any longer and let's go visit the Degassi Grand Reef base. Alien containment. Ow. Okay, maybe not. We should have hero peepers and bladderfish. Good. All right. That makes me feel better because at the very least I'll have a constant source of clean fish. I can use the hero peepers and the plague matter stuff if I want. I do have a peeper that's sitting in a locker somewhere. This guy. Let's see what you get. Let's see what you get. Missing ingredients. Well, I'm not really. And now I can do ball of meat, which I have not made one of these yet. Says it keeps predators distracted. Bloodthirsty creatures when dropped, energy dense. But like, does that work in here? It might. I don't know. Interesting. They want me to send this to Altera. They want me to send that sample, but I don't want to. It's the only ones I've got until I get more of these catalysts. So I guess let's go out and look for blisterbacks. See if we can't get something. Okay, well, this has been really interesting, and I'm excited to see where this goes, but unfortunately, I have to end the episode here. So next time, I guess we're gonna see if we can make the plague grappler, because that seems to be the only thing that I know of so far of how I'm gonna get up to that island, maybe. And I want to try to fix the Aurora if possible. I wasn't able to do damage to those eyeball things before. I think it's in episode 3 where one of those eyeball things attached to my sea moth and I couldn't get it off. I just had to drive around until it fell off. So maybe now I can go to the Aurora and I can actually knock those things off. I'm not sure, but I kind of want to try that too. And I need to find more of those catalysts. So on my way there, I will try to see if I can find another blisterback and get more of those things. Those seem to spawn somewhat randomly. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, but I'll figure it out, I guess. So look forward to that, I guess, for next time. And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.